All right, let's get started creating our first design file. When you launch Figma, one of the first things to note is that we want to be on our recents page. So notice that when it's opened up, yours may look slightly different. They tend to update this a lot. But over here on the left-hand side, you got a little home button. And along here, you've got a variety of other little buttons that you can click on. The Recents button will show you all of the recent files that you've been working on. So if you open up something earlier, or if you've worked on something and saved it to your computer, this is where you can find that file. Now, later on, we'll get into the community and working on other little things and kind of navigating through it. But let's jump in and actually create a new design file. There's a couple of different ways you can make a new design file. First off, if you click on Design up here at the top, that'll create a new one. You can actually click on the little plus sign over here. That'll make a new file. Or you can go over to your drafts, click on the little plus sign, and choose Design from here. All of them do exactly the same. They're going to give you a new untitled document up here. As a matter of fact, if you double click on it, we're going to call this our wireframe. And you can see how it updates here. Now, this is our work area that we're going to work on. All of the different pages and things that we create in panels can be found over here on the left-hand side. This is our artboard. If you're used to working in Adobe products, this is where all the action's going to happen. Your tools are generally down here at the very bottom, and any other panels and docs can be over here on the right-hand side. Now, in order to create an area that we want to be able to build something onto, let's go down here to our Tools panel. And this second icon is your Frame tool. If you select it or hover over it, you can see how it'll pop up and give you the name. It'll also give you a keyboard shortcut. So if I hit the F key on my keyboard, that's where I can quickly select that. Just like working with the Artboard tool, if you're in Photoshop or Illustrator, this allows you to click and drag, and you can start creating a little frame to place everything into. So that's kind of a quick and easy way of working with it. Once you create a frame, notice that it pops back over to the Selection tool. You can move your frames around if you need to be able to reposition things, or if you hit the Delete key, it automatically gets rid of those from there. What we want to do is we want to create a frame for a specific size for a mobile phone. To find some pre-made sizes, do make sure you got your frame tool selected. And notice over here on our panel, you've got a frame, and by default, this gives a variety of different common phone sizes. If we were to close it up, you can also see there's some common sizes for tablets, desktops, watches, all the different things that you can design for interactivity. Now, if you're working with a client, they may have a specific thing in mind they want you to design for, but for what we're doing, because we're using a phone, that's what we're going to go with. Now, if you're watching this in the future, there may be a couple of different phone sizes that are standard. I'm just going to use the iPhone 16. If yours is different, if you want to do 15 or 14, to be honest, it won't really matter for what we're doing. Notice that when you select this, it automatically creates the size of the document that you need. If you go over here to your panel, so I've got the actual frame selected, this gives me all of the information about it. So for instance, here's the dimensions that I can manually type in if necessary, or I can change the opacity, even the color of things that are once they're selected as well too. Another great keyboard shortcut to know is to be able to zoom in and zoom out. Now, right now you can see how it filled my screen nicely, but if I want to back out, I can hold down Command and the minus sign, and you can see how it zooms out and I can see more of the artboard, or Command and the plus sign allows me to zoom back in. If I hit Command and 0, it automatically sets it at 100%. So working between these two tends to be a great way to move in and out, and especially once we start creating more frames, we'll need to be able to navigate. By the way, I'm working on my laptop, so I can navigate around this way to be able to move. If you're looking underneath your Move tools, click on the little arrow. You can also use the Hand tool to be able to click and drag around if you want to be able to move around this way. Just make sure to go back to your Move tool to select it. Oh, by the way, one last thing I'll point out. Over here on your panel, notice that you also have the ability to zoom in and out over here or set a specific setting set up for this one. I like to be able to use the keyboard shortcut of Command plus and minus to be able to get it in. Let's put another frame beside this one. Again, choose your frame tool, then go over to this size and choose the same iPhone 16 size that we had before. And again, if you need to move it, you can click on it and you can see how the little guides will snap it into place. Another way you can quickly duplicate a frame, and we'll skip this one over, is to select it. And then you can go up to Edit and Copy, and then Edit and Paste. And it'll paste a third one right beside there as well. So whatever it takes to make a copy of it can be done. And the final way to make a copy is if you hold down the Option key on a Mac or the Alt key on a Windows, you can click on the name of it and then drag it over, and this will automatically make a copy of whatever frame you have selected as well. I'm going to zoom out so we can see these. You can see how we can space them and place them around. All right, now that we have all four of these, let's name each one of these so that we can keep track of everything. By the way, if you need to zoom in or if you find that you've zoomed out or gotten lost somewhere on your page, sometimes it is kind of difficult to find wherever you're at. If you go up here to the very top, you can choose Zoom to Fit, and that'll automatically fit everything nice inside of your frame, centered up. And I like you being able to use this. To rename your individual frames, simply double click on the name of it up here, and this will allow you to type it in. So this first one is going to be our home page. The second one is going to be the features. So again, double click on it. Another way you can rename things is if you've got it selected and you're over here in your pages layout, you can also double click on it over here and change the name for this one. So this will be our checkout page. And then finally, our last page, you can double click it here or at the top of it. This will be our confirmation page. So 4 different pages, all named differently, and they're all side by side on their layout. Now, by default, if this is connected to the internet, it should start saving everything to the cloud, but we also want to save everything to a local copy on your computer. I highly recommend having backup files on your computer just in case something goes wrong. So to save it onto your computer, you can go up to File, and let's do Save a Local Copy. This will ask you where do you want to save it to, and in my case, I'm going to open this up. On my desktop, I've got a Art 414, and I'm going to make a new folder, and I'm going to put this inside of our folder, call it our wireframe. For our AME project. Say create. If you haven't created one already, you can do this ahead of time. So this will save up as a Figma file inside of our folder, and I'll hit save. And then now I'm good to go for the next part of this exercise.